Next is laws of static and static friction and laws of kinetic friction. Means on which law this actually two frictions depend. Like first of all, for static friction, it opposes starting of motion. It opposes the relative motion of the object with respect to the surface. Means it have nothing to do with the surface opposition, but it have to oppose object with respect to the surface always. Second, it is independent of the surface of contact. It's also independent of the surface of contact. Where coefficient of static friction depend upon the nature of material. In mutual contact, mu k means coefficient of kinetic friction also depend upon the nature of material. Apart from it, it's also depend upon the temperature of the surface. More the temperature, and the value of the mu k depends according to that. It's depend upon the magnitude of applied force. It's have nothing to do with the magnitude of applied force. Means it is independent of the magnitude of applied force. It can take value from 0 to mu Sn, means this from 0 to maximum value, that is called static friction. It can never be 0 and always is equals to mu k n, whatever be the speed, because it's independent of the speed. It has a maximum value. This is called limiting friction, and this limiting friction is always greater than the kinetic friction, and it's always less than the limiting or the maximum value of the static friction. The value of coefficient of static friction is always greater than mu k, coefficient of kinetic friction. Coefficient of kinetic friction is always less than coefficient of static friction, means mu q is always less than mu s. This both are reciprocal, just nothing else. So this all are the laws of static and kinetic friction.